Salutations everyone, and welcome to What Mattered, the show where I tell you what mattered in the news this week. Overwatch still isn't out yet, so I don't know if today even counts as a real day. Big news this week coming out of Nintendo, outside of their sale of their stake in the Seattle Mariners baseball team. They are looking into having in-house movies being made with Nintendo IPs. Now, this shouldn't come as a huge surprise to anybody, but we know that there have been a lot of old wounds when it comes to Nintendo video games and even other animated properties that we might have seen in the 90s and so on. But it's been a while. Those scars have healed, and with this idea of bringing in Nintendo characters to a movie, it was stated that you might not see Super Mario Brothers right out of the way, because we know, obviously, the first attempt wasn't so great, but that they're not thinking about live action. Now, what should we make of Nintendo saying that they're going to make their own movies? First of all, they said that they're going to be having developed this in-house, not license it out to another studio, which is smart. It's very similar to the deal that Ubisoft has with Assassin's Creed, and having a lot of creative control over that film to make sure that it's true to the game and what makes the games great, and have it be hopefully as successful as possible. And with Nintendo properties, there's a lot of very kid-friendly properties that you think would be easy to make a lot of money off of. Well, we saw Ratchet & Clank not do so well, and things don't look great for the Angry Birds movie, and probably not for the Sly Cooper movie either, which seemed like safer bets than other video game movie adaptations live action, because these are very kid-friendly, orientated, intellectual properties that you think should do fairly well. You know, you got some CG animation studios is telling the story that everybody already knows, but, you know, the kids will want to see it. Well, apparently that's not so much the case, at least with the Ratchet & Clank and probably the Angry Birds movie as well. And what to think of this going forward? They said that they're not going to, you know, put out Mario Brothers the movie out of the gate, either because of, you know, the last time they tried that, or the fact that they don't want to put their biggest, you know, iconic character as their first foot forward. You know, of course, a lot of people are going to want a Legend of Zelda movie, because Legend of Zelda has been given, you know, a lot of hype about possible TV shows and stuff like that, which would be interesting, you know, if they're not going the live action route. Also, would be quite an interesting story when you have a mute character. Unless you're playing those Philips CDI games, Link's never talked, so that would be a questionable way to go for a narrative, but we do know they have a lot of big IPs, so I think they could have success. I think we might want to wait until another studio can show us success before Nintendo tries to replicate it, but you can see why they would want to pioneer these first steps forward. I don't think we're going to be seeing anything out of this fairly soon, and even if we do, let's hold off. Maybe they'll launch an original IP and have a video game come alongside it. That's, I think, a definite possibility. But as far as, you know, seeing a Kirby movie, I'm sure I would love to see that. And a Mario movie could, you know, look very nice, but no one really plays the Nintendo games much for the story, but for, you know, the animation and the world and the lovable, long-time known characters and the fun, innovative gameplay that we've known and loved for such a long time. So, an interesting step forward, and we'll keep an ear to it, but I think we should just hold off before we get excited. Jeff Goldblum, Carl Urban, and Tessa Thompson have been confirmed for casting in Thor Ragnarok. We have our boy Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster. We have Carl Urban as the Executioner, and Tessa Thompson as the Valkyrie. We've had previous confirmation that Cate Blanchett was going to be in the film, and she's going to be playing Hela, Loki's daughter, and will be the main villain of Thor Ragnarok. We also know that Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is going to be in the film, of course with Tom Hiddleston and Chris Hemsworth. So these are big name actors in some very, very interesting roles. I'm glad that they're bringing the Valkyrie into the fray. Thor Ragnarok, has a lot of questions about, how Hulk's going to be incorporated, what exactly the villain is going to be. It is Ragnarok, which we know of the comic book storyline. Is somebody going to die? How does this fit into the Avengers Infinity War? Is there going to be a gemstone or anything to do with Thanos? We know that Natalie Portman is not going to be in the film, reportedly because of the vast majority of this is going to take place not on the earthly realm of, the planet Earth. So that makes sense also because she's Natalie Portman. She doesn't really have time to have bit roles in these kinds of movies. So you can definitely understand that. I'm looking forward to it. I like Jeff Goldblum. I love Carl Urban. Tessa Thompson, Kate Blanchett, Tom Hiddleston, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth. That's a hell of a lineup for a Thor movie, now in its third film, and it could be quite good. I can't wait to see what these new actors look like in character. Destiny's next DLC, Rise of Iron, has been leaked, and I say that with quotations because this is a pretty straight-on, photo, and we've known that leaks to be intentionally leaked out for press and other reasons in the past. But regardless, it looks like it's going to be Fallen-based. They say that this expansion pack is going to be bigger than the first 2 DLC packs of the first year with, the Wolves and Dark Below, which is kind of it better be because those were 2 very tiny DLCs. And this is, in line with what they said of one final DLC expansion in 2016, and then with Destiny 2 or whatever they're going to call it next year. So, no word on the pricing or an exact release date, but we have some artwork and the name. One of this year's biggest releases, Overwatch, finally comes out on Tuesday after so much waiting and beta time playing. 9.7 million people played the beta, and we are very much excited. Many retailers are going to have the game available a day early on Monday so that us physical copy gamers can play the game as soon as the servers go live, just like all the digital copy people who may have already had preloaded the game on their console or PC as of now. It was Blizzard's biggest beta of all time. All kinds of data. The most played offensive class was Soldier 76. The most played defensive class was Widowmaker. Most played tank was Reinhardt, and the most played healer was Mercy. So there's a lot of Overwatch stuff in the media right now. A lot of things promoting it. Giant action figures. And of course, there's supposed to be a new trailer on Monday with rumors of another character being revealed. That's so far been dismissed that was, a bad translation or, was taken out of context or something like that. It would be a little bit of a surprise since, we got to play the entire game in that beta. The beta was the entirety of the game. Nothing was locked for us, and we have all of the characters to choose from. We can expect, of course, further characters, I'm sure, in DLC as the game goes on, which I'm very excited to see. The rumor has it that this newly revealed character would be a sniper class and a female, but no official confirmation on Blizzard. I think that they distanced themselves from this rumor, saying that this was a French movie theater description about showing the new cutscene, and that's really the only info that people have of it. Of course, there was a lot of Overwatch characters that we saw Winston scroll through in the computer in his short animation. Too many to pinpoint one, but those may be some early concept arts, if not official looks at future DLC characters for Overwatch. Might be one of the huge games going forward on many platforms. The day has finally come, and Microsoft on the Xbox One has finally figured out multi-disc backwards compatibility. The first one will be Deus Ex, which is now available via backwards compatibility. No word on Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 3 or other games that are multi-disc that they thought was, almost impossible, if not incredibly difficult to figure out. Well, turns out they figured it out, and not in too long of a time. I'm sure everybody is very, very much awaiting when we can finally get Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 via backwards compatibility, especially for those of us who have really worn out 360 controllers and want to play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer with our elites, because that would be gravy, baby. And, so Fingers crossed of more good news in the future. Anywho, Neil Blowfish, that is what mattered this week. If you would like to know what matters in the future, hit the subscribe button. One of these videos comes out every single Saturday. Hope you all enjoyed. Leave your comments below about anything that I mentioned today, and I will see you all next time.